time a change comes into your life, you've got a choice to make. It's a crisis moment. You have a choice to make. And some of the choices that you make are choices to go toward God or away from God. Choices to pick number A or letter A or letter B, and you have to determine which one is the wisest choice to pick. Or maybe it's a crisis where you have to pick to move into the future or to hold on to your past. You know, all of us face these changes and choices, and it creates a crisis in our lives. But those crises are moments of opportunity, because it means God is giving you the opportunity to choose the wise choice. He's giving you the opportunity to move into the future. He's giving you the opportunity to experience His presence. It's a gift that God is giving to us every time a change enters our life, if we engage that change in a way that honors God. Well, today I'm going to teach you the second core principle of change management, change mastery, and it begins like this. Every change is a goodbye. Every change is a goodbye. Now, what do I mean by that? Because some changes involve people, some changes involve stuff, some changes involve your job, some changes involve your money. What does it mean to say that every change is a goodbye? Well, let me just remind you of something. Human beings are designed by God as relational beings. He has designed us with the ability to relate to things, to relate to one another. And as a result, everything in this life is about relationships. Let me just give you a couple examples. Of course, we know that family relationships are relationships. I have a relationship with my wife. You know, it's a give and take kind of situation. I know her, she knows me. I talk to her, she talks to me. I love her, she loves me. It's a relationship, okay? I have a relationship with my kids. I have a relationship with other members of my family. There is that connection that we face. But I also have a relationship with my car. I turn the key and it starts, usually. And when it does, I do something for it and it does something for me and we're good. I fill it with gas and it runs. I change the oil and it purrs. Not really, but you know, I imagine so. And so I have a relationship with my car. I grew up in a family where we had relationships with everything in our household. I have become an insane pack rat because in my family, everything was personal. I'm talking about our stuff. Our cars didn't have actual names, but they had personalities. There was the red car, and the red car was like my dad's car. He loved that car. You know how the car has become yours when the seat curves and shapes to your hind quarters. He had achieved hind quarter status with that red car. You know what I'm talking about? We also had the gray car, and the gray car it went affectionately by the name of the Stealth, because for many months we kept that car hidden so none of our friends knew that we had just bought a new car. So we'd drive the red car, and then when we would go out on a special family event, we'd go out in the gray car, the Stealth car. And so we developed this relationship with our cars, and never was it as strong as with our stuffed animals. My dad would make a point to always enter our room and to adjust the stuffed animals in our room so that they would be in the most comfortable position possible at all points in time. And so he would adjust them so they would sit up properly, and then he would talk to them, and they would talk back, and he would encourage my sister and I to build relationships with our stuffed animals. And so I brought one for you this morning. Oh, I heard someone go, oh, who was that? Yeah, bring it on. This is my Pooh Bear. 1978, I was given this Winnie the Pooh. And you'll notice he looks different from most Winnie the Poohs today. Because this Pooh, not only is he naked, he did have a vest at one point, but this Pooh was manufactured and sold during the brief period of time when Sears and Roebuck owned the rights to the Winnie the Pooh franchise, before Disney got them. And so, in 1978, I got a Winnie the Pooh that looked like this. He was my Hobbes, and I was his Calvin. He became alive. Is like the Velveteen Rabbit in yellow fuzz. And he has stitch marks right here from one of the 9 times my mom had to stitch his head back on. He has a hole right here where my mom opened him up to refluff him. He's got a scar right up here where my mom had to sew his ear shut. And he's got a mouth right here that's only partially there. It used to come from there to there. It's now only that long, and that's his second mouth. The eyes have never been fixed, and the nose has never been fixed. But Winnie the Pooh and I would go everywhere. I'd stick him under my arm, and I'd just go around the whole house with him like this. If any one of you were here early enough, you saw my son running around the stage here with this bear under his arm. And the thing, though, is that when I went to college, I had to make a lot of goodbyes. I had to say a lot of goodbyes. I had to say goodbye to my friends. I had to say goodbye to the warmth of Southern California, for the terrible, frigid, 70-degree below zero wind chill of Chicago suburb Wheaton. And I had to say goodbye, in some cases for forever, to very close friends of mine. You know, there are some friends that I haven't seen again from that day when I left for college. But I could not say goodbye to Winnie the Pooh. And he went with me. I took him with me. Because, see, we've got a relationship. I'm just going to set him right there so he's all nice and happy. You all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. We have relationships with all kinds of stuff. And it's hard for us to say goodbye. And do you know why it's hard for us to say goodbye? It's because we've been designed by God to be relating people. We've been designed by God to have relationship as part of our core because He wants us to have a relationship with Him. And God is unchanging. God is eternal. God is forever. So He has wired us to have a relationship with something that is forever and eternal and unchanging. And that means every single time something changes here on earth, there is a part of us that is deeply aware of how empty and hollow and temporary all the stuff on this earth really is. Because we were designed for something forever. And when we come face to face with the end of something, with a broken relationship, we become aware of the fact that we were designed for something bigger. I want to take you to a passage of Scripture today. Last week we looked at Exodus chapter 14, and we saw how the people of Israel had just made it to the Red Sea. And God was going to lead them from the land of slavery in Egypt into the land of promise and prosperity in the land of Canaan. He was leading them